hard not to feel sympathy for Joe Biden. It'll be a high point in his career, this inauguration, as it is for any president. It's a big day on the American calendar, and this is going to be very different, and not for any particularly good reason this time around.
No, sadly, already this inauguration for 2021 for President-elect Joe Biden was going to be virtual anyway. They were asking people not to come because of the coronavirus. But now, as a result of the insurrection on Capitol Hill on the 6th of January, and I can tell you, Americans around the country are finding these pictures very sobering today. Washington in the District of Columbia looks more like Baghdad than it does the capital of democracy. There's actually a militarised green zone that has been set up around the Capitol building and the executive area in Washington. Now, there's up to 25,000 armed troops on the streets. That's more troops than there are in Iraq and Afghanistan by 3 times. The Capitol is surrounded by ring after ring after ring of security. Access routes have been blocked. There's military checkpoints, not just police, military checkpoints everywhere. A major bridge has been closed from an adjoining state. And airlines flying in and out of Washington for the past week and continuing for the following days. They're not allowing passengers to check weapons. They've cut booze out of all flights, and passengers are having to go through even more rigorous screening before they hop on board. So it's almost like a wartime capital. And let's just quickly look at what's happened in the courts since the insurrection on January 6th. Guys have gone through the courts. One guy was found with weapons and 11 Molotovs in his van. Another guy was found with an assault rifle and hundreds of rounds of ammo and text messages about assassinating House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. Another guy had flexi-cuff ties as handcuffs and a taser inside the Capitol building. And another guy had a pistol inside the Capitol building. And in the last couple of days, a security guard who says he simply got lost because he was coming from Virginia was caught at a checkpoint with his handgun and 509 rounds of ammo in his car. Now, he's legally allowed to carry those in Virginia, but not in DC. He says it was an honest mistake. But what that reflects is that it will only take one tiny spark to set off a potential disaster at the moment.
You'd have to think, though, I mean, when you're looking at these pictures that we've got up on the screen at the moment, Michael, and given what you've said there about the bloke who was arrested with his handguns and the 500 rounds of ammunition, even though it's a fortress at the moment in DC, it would be difficult to see anything happening like what we saw at the Capitol building. I mean, it's not going to be the Capitol building anyway because it's locked down, but anything like that in any other place around DC, just because it's so well locked down.
Well, precisely, Peter, and that's the intent. You know, the Secret Service is leading the security. You know, an inauguration is deemed a national security event, and they harness the energies and the capabilities of all kinds of agencies. So every imaginable asset has been deployed, and that's for a reason. It is a show of force. It is telling people, do not come and mess with us. Do not interfere further with the process of our Constitution and the spirit of our democracy. It's meant to send an intimidating message, and I believe it has.